Hello all, welcome back. Today we are going to learn one more important topic, that is, with the help of refs we can manipulate the DOM. Okay. So yesterday in the last session we understand how to create a simple ref, and we have understood like what is the difference between the state and ref, use ref. In which situation we need to use ref, in which situation we should store information in the state. Okay, here today we are going to learn one more advantage with refs. Okay, I just created a new application because we just entered into the advanced concepts of React.js. So the application is loading. So let me create a simple login screen, and you can understand the importance of ref with another example. So here I'm just creating a folder quickly. So, comments. It's okay. Now we are going to build login screen. I think we have learned this concept previously, but anyway we are entered into the use ref, so we can cover one more time. So in the login screen, just taking a function and go with the login. The component name should always start with a capital letter, right? The return, let's return some JSX, and export default the login. So here I just take two more divs. Okay, I'm not focusing on CSS part. Whenever you are practicing, just try to add CSS. So here I'm just taking two inputs. Input type is equal to text. This is for user ID. You can mention some like user ID or user email, whatever it is, user ID. In the next div, I'm just going to ask user to enter the password. Password again. We need to take one of the input. Okay, right now I'm just taking as a text only, but normally we will take it as a password. Type as a password. Okay. Then you can click. Even you can we can add a button. Submit or login or sign in, whatever it is, and you can just implement something else. So let me add this into the app.js. I'm just removing the things. So here, import login from, yeah, the proper path. And just add the login component here. Just save it. So hopefully you will able to see user ID and password. So if you see, I want to, because whenever the component has loaded first time, okay, I want to select this text box. Okay, I want to select this text box. Okay, if you want to select the second text box like this, or the so if you see, whenever we load the application. Whenever you go on to the login screen, by default, this mouse, the position should be on the first text box. So that means we should able to access this text box. Okay, observe carefully. Here in the browser, we are loading the components. We are loading the components. Okay, but a DOM, because once you load the React into the browser, okay, that means it will create the DOM structure, that is the original DOM. Original DOM. You see some app component is there. Okay, just right directly we have a login screen is there. Okay. So this is a HTML file, and we have a div here. Okay. We have a div here, and this is going to be generated by the React with React DOM, and it will place that on the original DOM. So once it is available in the original DOM, but you want to place the position, because here just understand we have two text boxes. This is the login screen. Have two text boxes on one button. Okay, we need to control that text box. That means in this browser, so DOM is a part of browser API, right? DOM is a part of a browser API. So if you want to access these DOM elements in React, because that is not under control of React, because in React, while building the component, yes, you can apply some styles and everything. So once you hand over it to the original DOM, so it will, once you place everything in the original DOM, the control will goes to the original DOM, right? So here, so if you want to access any HTML element, any HTML element, or which is the part of a DOM, okay, so we can take the help of ref. So for that, observe carefully. So what I'm doing here, import, import. So just I'm importing useRef. Okay, here let me create one ref. That is, I'm just taking input ref is equal to useRef. Okay, by default, just provide a null. Okay, so it is created a ref. So, and whenever you call the ref, it will create the object. Just remember, always it's very, very important. There's a special a memory in a React component. That is, it's a secret memory. And it is not going to cause the re-render. That is very important point we need to remember. So here, it has a property called current. CURRENT, whatever it is. Current. Okay, right now, this is null. This is null. Right now, whenever we initialize, this is null. So here what we can do, okay, you can provide the reference, we can attach that ref to our text box. Right now I'm just attaching. Okay, how to attach this ref? So then what will happen, so here initially it was null. So whenever you attach to the input text box, so it will hold the reference of that input text box. Okay, I'm saying here reference. Okay, it will hold the reference of the input text box. Input, input text box. So if you do like input ref dot current means that is referring that input text box. So what we can do, so here, so if you want, because our expectation is whenever the component is loaded, at the time we should place this cursor into the first text box. For that, what we can do, we can implement that in a use effect, because it should do after, because once we place everything on the original DOM, once the rendering has happened, once the mounting phase is completed, then only we should place that. For that, we can take help of use effect. So use effect, it's like a component did mount. Okay, once, so I'm just putting empty dependency array, and here what I'm doing, observe carefully. So input ref dot current dot focus. Okay, then what will happen, what we are doing, input ref dot current. Okay, what is that input ref dot current? Okay, once the component is loaded, once it is attached, so this is the input, this is the input text box. So if you just use the focus method, so it will focus on the text box. Observe carefully whether it is working or not. So if you see, it is working. Just refresh. Okay, if you see, the focus is on first text box. Focus is on first text box. Suppose if I attach this ref, I'm just removing the reference to the first text box. If you attach that to the second text box, what will happen? Whenever you load the login screen. So by default, it is referring to the second text box. So in this way, we can access any DOM element. So suppose this is just a simple example. This is just a simple example. So even if you have a registration form or something, even if you want to do any background color change, anything, okay, in a meaningful way, you will get an access to the original DOM. Okay, then you can do anything, you can do some changes to that. So this is the simplest example we can understand. So now tell me, Varun, understood or not?
Yeah, understood.
Yeah, who are watching this video, please do practice and understood it clearly. Okay, here I will tell you one more advantage. Okay, so Varun, if I'm suppose user ID is there, password is there. Okay, I'm just typing, suppose user ID is as Vijay. Okay, Vijay, and password is like 12345. Okay, so but in real time, whenever we are dealing with like a login screen and registration form, what we need to do, tell me, Varun?
Means I didn't get your question, Robert.
Yeah. So normally once you click on login, how you can read these values?
Current dot value. I mean, that input ref dot current dot value. We need to read that value.
Yeah, but we have another option, right? You remember?
Another option.
Yeah, one is, so if you want to read the first text box value, okay, you can create the two references. Okay, I'm just creating another reference, constant, okay, password reference. Okay, what was my question? Maybe you have a confusion. Maybe I didn't ask the question properly. So after clicking on that button, you should read the value of user ID and you need to read the value of password and you need to send it to the server, right? Okay, how you are going to read that value? So one way is with the help of refs. Okay, this is input ref for we can what we can do, user ID ref. Okay, user ID ref, so that you can read and store the value of your first text box into this. Okay. So anyway, on the first load, we are going to focus the first text box. That is fine. That is fine. So here I'm attaching one ref to the first text box and password ref to the password text box. Okay, very good. And after clicking on that button, so I'm just writing on click, on click. So what I'm doing, I'm just writing handle login logic. So here I'm going to create a method constant, constant handle logic. Okay, constant handle logic. Now tell me, Varun, how to read first text box value and second text box value.
User user ID ref dot current dot value.
Okay, very good. So here what I'm doing, let's go with a let user ID equal to user ID ref dot current dot value, because it is the in the user ID ref we are holding the reference of the first text box, so that if how we can read the value from the text box one dot value, right? Document dot get element by ID. Suppose in the JavaScript we will provide the ID for this. ID is equal to suppose mm, user ID something, user ID, or for the password you can give a ID is equal to pwd, and then what you will do, directly you will write document dot get element by ID, and that, and you can do that value, you can read that value. But we are not going to get the details from directly from the DOM with the help of document.getElement by ID. So this is the best option. This is the best option to read the values from the text box. Okay, that is reference dot, and let's go with the password pwd. Okay, how we can read this one? Password ref dot current dot value. So in this way we can read user ID and password. Okay, now I'm just putting alert whether we are able to read the value or not. So once you understand the things, you can send a request to the server as well. So I'm just using a string interpolation here, user ID, and at the same time I'm going to provide pwd. Okay. Let's see whether it will work or not. Okay, user ID I'm just writing Vijay, and password I'm just entering 12345. Varun, just tell me whether it is going to work or not.
Yeah, it will work well.
Okay, it will work. Okay, but okay, this is one way. Suppose in some situations, if you want to read any information from the text box, you can attach the ref to the text box and you can read it. But here in this situation for the login screen, normally we don't recommend to use refs to read the values. Okay. Now tell me, Varun, what is the other way? This is one way to handle the login screen. What is another way?
I'm not sure the other way. Can you give me any hint?
Suppose if you want to do some validations or something, so that login screen where we will store the details.
Context?
Context. This is a simple component.
Not sure, Raghudan.
Yeah, no problem. Maybe you forgot because we have discussed maybe 1 month back. Okay, what we need to do? We need to store in the state, Varun. We need to store in the state. You remember?
So if we store in the state again, it will re-render, no, Raghudan.
Yes, it will re-render. But we have one advantage because we can handle the validations and all those things. Okay, because you will get full control on the this text actually. For that, normally people recommend to store the details in the state. Okay.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, I will give you the proper reasons. I will find out the documentation. I will send it to you. Okay, why we need to store the login details, login user ID password in the state. Okay. The main reason is we can do validations. Suppose if you see Varun, okay, validations means suppose you are writing. So you can define some rules, right, for the password, right? Suppose if you see some applications, suppose the password rules are you should have you should have 3 characters, right? Minimum 3 characters and 2 symbols, right?
Yeah.
2 symbols, and total it should be 7 letters minimum. Okay, maybe this is a simple validation. This is a simple validation. Okay, but here suppose if we deal with this, what will happen? So first you should read the value and then you can apply the validation, right? Once you got the
Yeah.
user ID and once you read the password, and then you need to write some logic whether that user ID and password are following the validation rules or not, right? Got it, my point?
Yeah, got it. Yeah.
but but if you observe something, if you observe some applications, okay, while typing itself it will show the results, right? Suppose if you suppose total we need seven characters, right? Minimum. So but if you mention only 5 characters, without clicking on login button itself, it will throw the validation for us actually. I need to find out
Yeah,
the
it will go
some
the error. Yeah.
example. real time example, right? Did you get a chance to experience that? Any websites?
Yeah, yeah, got it. It will
That
throw
means,
error.
yeah, it will throw an error. Even sometimes, if you type like, suppose this is the use email ID, okay, email ID, until unless, suppose Raghu at the rate gmail.com, if you enter like that, okay. Suppose if you don't enter this one, it's without clicking on login button itself, it will start showing the error details, right? This is the
Yeah.
email format you need to follow. That means for each and every character, for each while typing each and every character, you should apply some validation. So for that, to implement that, to get full control on the text box information, what we need to do? We can store the details into state.
So we can use reducer also, Raghu, there, or else
No, reducer also. But now tell me what is the difference between the state and reducer?
state is used to re-render the component
We can store some information, right?
information, and when changes we can re-render the component again.
Yes,
State is that,
correct.
and reducer is to store multiple values, multiple things.
Okay. Reducer also same. We can store some information and it will re-render.
Hmm.
But what's the difference with the use reducer? Here, with if you go with a state, you are directly taking help of set state, right? That means set count or something. Okay. But with the reducer, you are appointing one assistant, right? Varun,
Yeah, Raghu, yeah.
why you need to appoint an assistant?
To update.
So just remember what we have discussed in the polarity switch. Okay.
Yeah, it will take. It will take the receipts, and it will
Yeah.
just update whatever you want.
Okay. Whenever Pullareddy has started the first sweet shop, he was the only one employee, right?
Yeah.
He's just maintaining the information in the state. What is taking? He's just maintaining the information in the state and he's just using set sweets or something. Okay. But what happened? Gradually his business has grown, right? His business has grown. At the time, it's very difficult for him to handle, right? All the things. If more people are coming. So complex information. Suppose you state, it's better to go, even you state, you can store arrays and objects, right? Strings and everything. But whenever you are doing lots of transactions, lots of request to do the changes, it's very difficult to handle with the use state. That is the only thing. Otherwise, you can if you are really mature enough to write the logic for use state, you can do that. But use reducer is providing flexibility, right? What's the flexibility? You can write the reducer logic in that you can give a state and action, right? State and action. Then this reducer will take care of that. Okay, what you need to do? Just dispatch what you want, right? What it Varun?
Yeah, got it, Raghu. Yeah.
Yeah, సింపుల్ ఏంటంటే నీ బిజినెస్ సింపుల్ లాజిక్ ఉంది, సింపుల్ ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ ఉంది, ఇప్పుడు కౌంటర్ ఉంది. సో ఇఫ్ యూ వాంట్ టు హ్యాండిల్ ద కౌంట్, whether you will go with the use reducer or use state.
Used it only.
Yeah, you can do with the use reducer also, right? But why
Yeah,
you are
we can
not
do.
going with the use reducer?
Simple and clean.
Yes, it's a simple because count is there, set count.
Yeah.
Okay, we can achieve the same thing with use reducer and use state also. But why we are going with the use state? Because use state is simple and here we don't have too many things to think. So count either increment or decrement. If you give a new value, that's fine. But if you want to maintain the cart information, whether you will go with a use state or use reducer.
So cart is a mixture of many things. So we got with the use reducer only.
Yes, that's it. Even if you are if you are really smart enough, you can store the card information also in a use state. Okay, and you can attach this use state to the context. But we can't do that because because the complex it's very difficult to handle. Add item to the cart, remove item to the cart, reset, or in the cart. Sometimes, suppose in the context, what we will maintain cart. So in a big large applications, not only the cart, right? What I told you, we can store user details also, right? User profile, whether he is logged in or not, and we can store card information also. You can store any other information also. It's going to be a very big object. At the time, if you store this information in the simple use state, it's going to be very difficult for developers or to handle. So it's better to use reducer, right? If your business is growing, if you are getting more customers, then what you will do? You will appoint more people in a street shop, right? Here also same logic. Now understood or still you have a confusion?
Yeah, I understood the difference between the two, but here you told to store value. Even for authentication, to reading values, you told right in login when you click on login.
Yeah, yeah. What I'm saying, whether the login information or the card information, whatever the information is there, okay, don't worry that login information is very important. That's why we need to use Redis or not. What I'm saying, if you have more transactions or if you have a more complex data, then go with the use reducer. Whenever it is a very simple count or marks details or simple things, and you want to handle inside the simple component, you can go with the use state.
Okay,
Yeah,
Ravi.
it's
Got
like okay, I will tell you one simple example. Another one, maybe it will match or not. So if you want to drink the water, what you will do? If you want to drink water, what you will do? What is this?
glass.
Yeah, thank you. Yes, I drawn properly. Okay. Suppose if you want to give water to 10 people, what you will do?
We'll take a bottle and we'll take one glass.
Okay, you need to take a big bottle or something. Suppose 30 members came to your home. You want to give a water. What you will do? The
We'll
glass
take
is
one
not
bottle.
enough, right? You need to take a big water bubble and you need to provide some
Yes.
glasses again. So here also same thing. Okay, this is also because you can maybe like me, I can say that okay, why I need to drink water in the glass? Directly I can take big boat like what you can call big bucket or something. Okay, yeah, you can. But the only thing is for the simple thing, you can go and take the water in the glass. But if the complex data is there, it's better to go with the ready. So that's the simple thing. Okay. I hope you got the clarity.
Yeah, got it.
Good. So we started with the use ref. Yeah. Yes. So we use with the help of use ref, you can take the reference to the DOM nodes. DOM nodes. Of course, this is the useful thing. Okay. This is useful. Whenever you load the component first time, okay, it's always this is natural thing. Even if you go with a Facebook login or any login screen, maximum this feature will be there. So by default, it will focus on the first text box. But if you want to maintain the login information, okay, sometimes people will do that with the help of refs also they can handle, but this is not a recommended way. What we need to do, we need to store user ID information and password information in the state. Okay, what do you need to do? Constant, add here, constant user ID, set user ID equal to use state. Okay, and password also. Password, set password equal to use initial value. This is also empty because it's a string. Password is also string, that's why I just make it empty. So already we had discussed this one. Okay, I will let's go with our playlist. Maybe you forgot. Where is our React JS playlist? Okay, 65 videos done. It's really surprising for me. And can you find out login screen? Event handler don't mutate the state React. Somewhere we will definitely have a login screen.
No, Raghu, I think I'm not remembering, but maybe you told, but I'm not sure about that.
I think we had a discussion. Don't mutate the React and why. Oh, I thought I have explained.
No, Raghu, if you have explained, I would have given answer.
Yeah,
Maybe you
yeah.
told, but maybe I forgot also. Maybe that is also possible, but I'm not sure you told me.
Yeah. If it is not there in the playlist, maybe I forgot. Because now almost we have recorded every session and
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
okay. Major on home. Okay, this is the home page, right? Login screen, no login screen. Oh my God. Okay. I think I didn't explain. I didn't explain. But still, in my mind, I thought I explained. Okay. Yeah, that's a proof that we do. I didn't explain. Login screen. Okay. No problem. We can discuss tomorrow. Okay. That is important. So yes, we should maintain a login information in the state itself. Okay. Of course, useRef is also useful sometimes if you want to attach reference to any DOM, and if you want to do anything. And another important thing is suppose scroll bar is there. Suppose this scroll bar. So is this scroll bar is there here? Okay. Just imagine we have a React application. We have a button. Okay, counter. When I click on it, before clicking on the button, the scroll bar is there at maybe middle of the screen. Okay.
Okay,
But
no, I remember. You told like this idea. Set the user ID, and in that we'll write like user ID dot value something
yeah,
to read that value, right?
yeah, here only there. You got it there.
Yeah,
Use state with objects, updating object in a state, create login form in React. Is okay.
yeah, that's what I remember now. Set user ID, and that we'll update that value, right?
Yes. You see, use state, username, set username, and password, set password. We are storing. Okay, it will follow the cycle process.
E dot R A dot all, yes. I remember that.
Okay, I think my memory is good. Fine. Yeah, that's why I thought I have explained. Yeah, that is correct. So just go and watch that video one more time. That's why we need to revise the concepts. Okay, no problem. Just try to watch that recording one more time and sync up so that it will be completed. Okay. Now who are watching this video? What is the video number, Varun? I just simply closed. I think I should add in the comment section. link. Yeah, it looks like a 38. Mm, yeah, this one. Use state with objects, updating objects in state with creating login form. Okay, this one. Use state with objects, updating objects in the state, and create login form in React.js. Okay, fine. That's all for today, Varun. And tomorrow we are going to learn another important topic. I know because already 65 sessions, 65 hours of time, still we didn't complete React, but it's worth to invest your time to learn each and every topic. We are very close. The most important topic is the custom hooks that is pending, and use callback, use memo. Those are really, really important topics. Once we finish them, we can start a real time project for a real purpose. Okay. And who are watching this video, please do practice. Get ready.
And Redux,
Yeah, Redux. Redux, while doing a project, I will explain. Okay. Not
okay.
yeah, separate kind of training. Once you understand context, exactly same in the Redux. Okay. Same concept with more advantages. That's it. Okay, team. Bye bye. See you tomorrow again.
Hi, Ravi.